Debbie and I were talking about the fantastic decision by the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals. I've been talking about it the last couple of days on the podcast. Basically, it says that in Texas, social media companies cannot censor people based on viewpoint discrimination. You can say anything you want that is legal. And if they do it, we can sue them. And we've talked about it. We will sue them. And we will not only be restored by force by the court, but we will also be entitled to attorney's fees. And I think that if this happens, it's going to set off a movement where lots of people are going to be doing the same thing. And the thing we were discussing is there is the only way that these social media platforms can overturn this Texas law is to now appeal it to the Supreme Court. There's only one more avenue to go to, but you were saying you don't think they might even do that.
Well, if they know what's good for them. I mean, you know.
Well, let's say why.
Well, because it would permanently and across the nation would make it illegal for them to censor opinion, because that's actually what they are doing. They're censoring opinion. They're not censoring facts. They're censoring opinion. And as you said the other day, they can't even censor facts. No. Right?
Yeah, so, under the First Amendment, it is very clear that you are not only allowed to have errors of opinion, have the wrong opinion, but you're allowed to make errors of fact. If I were to go out and say something like,
the sky is green.
The sky is green.
Yep.
Or it's covered by the First Amendment. It doesn't mean because if I'm making a factual, I could be honestly mistaken. It doesn't really matter. But the point you're making, I think, is this, that if they go to the Supreme Court and the Supreme Court goes, not only is the Texas law legal, but it is legal for states to pass laws declaring that these social media platforms are common carriers like the phone company. And just as the phone company can intrude on your phone calls, restrict your reach, ban you, deplatform you, you pay your bill, you get your service. They have to not only serve everybody, they have to serve everybody equally, which means that not just that they can't kick you off the platform, they can't even restrict you, because if they're restricting you and they're not restricting other people, they're treating you unequally.
Right.
So the point being that it will then send a message nationwide that any state, and certainly Republican states, can pass laws punishing these social media platforms for engaging in conduct that is, well, in this case, illegal.
Illegal, yeah. I don't remember YouTube or Facebook ever banning anybody on the left for saying that Trump in 2016 was illegitimate. I don't remember that at all. Does anyone remember that?
They haven't done that.
That's because it didn't happen. So the problem with these companies is that they are an arm of the left. They tout everything the left tells them to do. They don't agree with climate change, we can't talk about climate change. You don't agree with the election, we can't talk about the election. So, and it's only conservatives.
And the trans issue and abortion, there's a wide, long list.
In fact, when you go to upload a video or a podcast on YouTube, you have to go through AdSense and you have to go through community standards. And it is the community standards that they agree with, not normal community standards, right?
I talked about how, Facebook's defense and YouTube's defense is we're private companies. We can do whatever we want. And what's great about the appellate court, the Fifth Circuit Court, is they're like, that is flat out nonsense. Companies cannot do whatever they want. They are subject to all kinds of standards that they have to comply with. You might have private banks, but private banks can't do whatever they want. Private companies can't say just quite simply, if you want to get a phone line, you've got to be at least 5 feet tall. AT&T is a private company. They can't say that. They can't decide that because you're black or because you're foreign-born or because, let's even say, you come from a very poor area of town and you may not be as reliable in paying your bills. They can't even do that. So the simple truth of the matter is that when they're common carriers, they have to offer their service on an equal basis to the general public. And I think what's remarkable is we've had laws against racial discrimination, gender discrimination. We have not had laws about viewpoint discrimination. That's new. And that's the most sorely needed.
Yeah, because exactly. They don't like your viewpoint. They won't let you talk about your viewpoint. They won't even let you talk about your opinion about the viewpoint.
I mean, if you're black or Hispanic or gay, are you likely to be treated badly, let's say, in a university today? On the contrary. Are your viewpoints likely to be suppressed? on the contrary. But on the other hand, if you're conservative, you're an evangelical Christian, you are a Trump supporter, that's where your rights come into play. That's where your rights are really jeopardized. And so viewpoint discrimination, it seems to me, is the one area now that is most seriously, this is where the discrimination is occurring, and this is where there needs to be some sort of legal and constitutional protection.
Yes.